Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. Welcome back to the full walkthrough in the Crew 2. So looks like it's time to get ready to go for having a drag race, so this will be the perfect time to go over for the street racing headquarters to be at the spot. But this is definitely might be a pretty good for drag race, but it takes 3 runs by having a lot of chances to beat the time. So I hope this one might have a clip will be included as well, because I have already been visited. Well, that was almost so close to call. Let's just gonna go over and have a best drag vehicle whenever I have to pick. Drag race is definitely might be pretty good to drive on full straight for only a quarter mile. So I hope this is definitely might be a pretty good to be getting down to do some manual mode whenever we have to participate in the event. So I have to choose one drag vehicle to be available by purchase. But this one is definitely might be a pretty good to have some maximum horsepower to be starting out at least a range of 334 or more. But this is going to be a pretty good determined choice whenever I have to go with. So this is definitely might have the Roof CTR3 Drag Race Edition was now actually included, but there is no sign of the street race version of this car, but it was definitely might include with the drip spec version in it. So I bet this is definitely might be a pretty good performance level at 335. And luckily, the Corvette Stingray C7 was actually quite very good to be at 333. But this may be quite very good for only $172,900 to be available to buy. This is definitely might be pretty hard to pick. Everybody always want to go with the CTR3 Drag Race Edition, was definitely might be the only hypercar to be fitted as the drag model. But it is definitely might be a pretty good performance by having a... I hope I could probably have to go with the Corvette C7 Stingray whenever I have to be recommendable. But I'll have to make sure to get everything to be quite prepared. So it's just going to have to pick a color, and this is going to be quite very good with the Laguna Blue tint coat. Rims will be going in for only one use. Okay, I'll have to make sure I'll be accepted to buy, and this is going to be a one excited full straight run for only a drag race. This is going to be a lot of fun out there, folks. I hope the map will be popped in to be giving up some new events. 5 new activities are now open. So I bet this is definitely might be the only first. Just gonna have to go in, tweak and shout for having the first drag race event. But this will be having 3 runs for only a quarter mile. But it's going to be going in for having a long straight. But this one might have a lot of good practice whenever we have to go fast. And even the nitro will be included to give a little bit extra speed. Performance recommendation is going in to be at 330. So plus 3 will be good enough for my Corvette C7 Stingray in the Drag Race Edition. Was pretty good enough for it. So let's get ready and be prepared.
Okay, here's the deal. Las Vegas, Fremont Street nighttime drag race. 3 rounds, no holds barred, and the best thing about it is totally legal. I think I might even lay down a totally legal wager on this one, just to give you a little more incentive.
I hope this is going to get a little bit nervous out there, viewers. I hope I can do this, but this is going to get a lot of hard work whenever I have to go fast. Okay, first run. Now I have to make sure to rev up some burn tires, so this will might have to stay on the green zone. I had to make sure this will might have a good use of the manual transmission. Perfect burn, and get ready to hit the green light. Perfect. Very good. Hope this will might have a full speed.
Gonna need to swap out the timing chain on your engine. What? That's okay, because now we can afford to replace parts that are broken instead of having me duct tape them back together.
Okay, looks like this is definitely might be the first run clear. Now let's go for the second run. Just gonna have to do the same thing. Okay, just keep going at it. Perfect burn. Wait for 4 seconds until hitting the green light, and this wheel might have to stay on it. This time to go speed with the nitro.
I can probably tweak the engine a bit more and squeeze a little extra performance out of it. Glad we're in a place where we can do that.
Okay, 0.8 seconds. Gear shift is good. Now it's time to go for that will be it. Okay, just gonna stay in it. That's more like it. Just gonna get prepared. One more run. This time, it has to go perfect by a maximum speed. .104 seconds. Very good for having an 11-second time.
The better each of these runs, the easier it is to set up the next one. And this one ran great.
Nice. I hope I could probably have to go again, but make sure this wheel might have a touchscreen to be needed included.
I tell you, there's nothing like what we do. Showing off what all those hours of work turned into, letting the world see that perfect paint, popping the hood to show off what you built part by part with your own hands. But then you slide behind that wheel. You hear that monster growl. You turn it loose on the quarter mile. You gotta live it to feel it.
Just try to make a good practice on drag race, and you'll have to do it right. Very good ways to see how every drag car could probably have to be able to take a lot of good performance by having some more fast runs. But it takes less handling to be taking some less cornering. But giving some full runs to be on the perfect straight, but it's gonna have to take plenty more concentration to be on a good balance when driving in on free mode. However, I could probably have to go for taking the next drag race, but this is where we're all starting out. But this is definitely might have a lot of hard work out there, but I'll make sure I'll have to come back again at any time. Now, let's just gonna have to open up the filters, and maybe this one might have to go for a type. Just go on to disciplined and have drag race to be filled out on the list. Let's just gonna have to take a good look on Death Valley for a drag race, so maybe this is definitely might not enough because it's currently at 333. So let's just gonna have to go and check on Detroit for having a drag race at East Field. That should be good enough. So let's just gonna go and travel and get myself prepared for another run.
It doesn't matter how much I want to bring all of us onto the right side of the law. Not everyone's cool with that. Means we still have to race illegal, but that's okay. The only way to change things is from the inside, right? So let's change it.
Let's cue the condition change.
3,
It's going to be having a daytime, so
1.
I hope I'll be ready. Beat the time at 20.266
It's all gonna be
seconds.
over real soon.
Just gonna have to set up a perfect burn. Stay in it. There we go. Come on, just gonna have to make a good perfect gear shift, and it'll be all good. Too fast, too quick soon. Top street speed is 322 miles. Gear shift is all good. I hope I can probably get ready to go again in the second run. There you go, just make that perfect burn and have that good response. Kick it up onto the 5th gear. That's more like it. 17.638 seconds. Performance gear shift average is all good. Gonna have to try to make the perfect one. It gets a little bit harder every time. Alright, it's all good. And make that burn perfect, and this is gonna be having a perfect start. Find a good shifting rhythm. Here it comes. That's more like it. The element of drag race makes a gear shift to be 100% perfect. That was a very good checkmark complete. So I hope this will might have some good loot box to be dropping in. And there's 3 of them right now. How brilliant is that for having a drag race, folks? Takes a lot of good focus.
I'm trying to get us to go legit, because if we're not running legal, people are going to get hurt. There's just too many problems. Tickets, jail time, unpleasant discussions with law enforcement officials, and that's before you start talking about people getting hurt. So go with instead of go against is what I'm thinking. Hopefully that's what you're thinking too.
Well, the only thinking is just gonna have to take a lot of comes in to take plenty more runs for drag race. But this is definitely might be pretty cool whenever I had to take a lot of good potential practice with my Corvette C7. But however it is gonna have to take some few precision runs to be quite professionally, to be quite going straight. Now, let's just gonna have to go for drag race number 3. Let's just gonna have to go in to see how I'm about to be checking in for some difficulty, but well, maybe this will might have to go again at any time, so let's just gonna have to see.
A quick reminder, for each event, there's a recommended level. Make sure to check that out before taking a shot. Sure, you can choose to ignore the recommendation because you're that good, but it's always better to know the rules before breaking them, right?
Whenever it depends, that's how you might need to have a lot of performance to be going increased on the level. So I'll have to make sure this one might have to switch to a better difficulty to be at normal. So it looks like this will be going in onto South Beach, but this is definitely might have enough performance. Will be need for a little upgrade. Let's just gonna have to switch up the filters to be going back to default. I'm really sure that my Corvette C7 could probably need some upgrades. Now let's just gonna have to switch the vehicle for my C6R. Just gonna have to take a while to load for any second. Good thing my 300 SLR Mercedes is still in. Okay, there you are. Now let's just gonna go in and customize my C7 dragster. Will be ready to go. But good thing performance will be needed for some upgrades to be having some good adjustments. Just gonna have an ECU to be equipped. Just gonna go green default. And even some tires will be needed as well. That's the best important part whenever tires might be needs to be suitable for some good speed adjustment grip. But you can customize on any visual parts for any drag spec vehicles to be well chose to be available for. Now, let's see. Just gonna have the body kit on my C7 Corvette. Hood number 2 with a carbon fiber, which definitely might pretty well. Okay, looks like front bumper 2 is definitely might be pretty good to be adding up on it. Now, rear fenders. This is going to be pretty good to purchase 1,729 equipped. Painting up the calipers onto blue. Now, side mirrors will be changed from the color to a carbon fiber. That would be much needed. Skirts all set, and the rear fender will be putting in on bolts, and even of course the rear wing. Maybe this might be pretty good to have a carbon fiber lip spoiler, but the number 3 might be quite come in handy. Now let's just gonna go with the rear bumper. Just gonna have something might be very good to be quite very related to it. Almost exactly to be as a C7 C06 model. This one might be quite good. Now for the interior color. Just gonna have to paint it up on blue. Maybe this one might be doing good. Okay, looks like this is going to be quite very good customization decoration. But I hope I could probably have to do a time lapse by making a livery design later on. I'll have to make sure I'll have to get prepared for competing for the next drag race. Just going to get ready to go over to Miami, but this is the only best view place for only a nearby spot. Okay, time to go down to South Beach. This is going to be a pretty good recommend performance to be highlighted on the green mark check. So let's just go and travel.
Welcome to Miami, home of one of the biggest street racing communities out there. Could be because you can get almost anything certified street legal. Could be because that's just how the city rolls.
Now this is going to be the only best rolling start to get prepared for a starting grid. Just going to have to keep a good steady ride.
3.
I hope I can probably get myself prepared, folks.
1.
This is going to be a one fast quick drag race at Miami. There we go, perfect burn. Stay in it. Okay, looks like this is going to be the adapted ghost car. I had to make sure of it. Okay, 300 miles per hour. Gear shift is perfect. Almost barely had the chance to beat the time, folks. It gets a little bit harder, but I had to make sure to take a lot of good speed to go faster. That's more like it. I'm going fast in the lead. Always going to make a good, perfect drag trial for having a lot of time by exactly under 12, over 13 seconds. Well, maybe this is definitely might take a lot of progression to go in. Okay, one more run. This time, this is going to be going in. Okay, looks like that wasn't so bad after all. But almost 300 miles per hour. This is gonna get a lot better. And the good news is, I beat the clock by only 13 seconds. How remarkable is that whenever we might need some upgrades for a drag car?
You're not on the list. You're not one of the top 10 racers out there. You're not top 10, and to me, you're nobody. I don't talk to nobody, see? This is me not talking. You've been doing it for too long.
Well, guess Teal's not happy that I just really impressed myself. But this is where it all started. Now, let's just gonna go over back to Los Angeles. This is gonna be going in to have another run. But even perhaps, I'll have to make sure to take drag race number 5 later on. Is gonna be quite very good to be at Death Valley. Santa Monica is ready to roll, and this is gonna be a pretty good quarter-mile run out there, folks. I bet this is gonna be a quite very possibility whenever Street Race could probably do some drag race.
Drag racing seems easy, but it requires tremendous amounts of focus and technique packed into a very short time. So let's see if you've done your homework. If not, it'll be a drag.
You're my teacher, Latrell. I hope I can probably study homework about drag race. This is going to be a lot of education work whenever it comes in to have a good grade.
3.
So let's get prepared for having 3 runs, and let's see how I can study well. Gonna set up the tires to be making a perfect burn. So my main objective is going to be 15.6 seconds. This is going to be a lot of harder out there to go fast and quick, and let's get it on. Pack it up with some nitrous boost. There you go. Pretty good, remarkable run out there. 306 miles per hour. Gear shift is good. And this time, perfect time for 15 seconds by having a decimal to be going under. There you go, just keep that good performance speed. Pack it up with a nitro boost. Excellent. Let's see the results. Same, almost had enough. Gonna have to keep trying harder. I bet if I could probably have enough upgrades, so this will be all good for now. Okay, last run. Perfect burn. Mark on the green. Yep, this is going to be a pretty good run. I hope I could probably get an A+ for having a drag race, ladies and gentlemen. Gear shift is perfect. Brilliant.
Alright, you squeaked that one out. It was close, but I'm not complaining. Take the victory and be proud of it.
Thank you, Latrell, my humble street racing teacher and drag race instructor. And this is pretty good to have some loot as a prize. How awesome is that? Now, I'll have to make sure I'll be coming right back to home for some upgrades, so can I make sure if I could probably have to get ready for taking one more drag race, and it's up to Death Valley. Okay, let's go and customize for some parts for only one more time. My Corvette C7 Stingray probably might need some more performance upgrades. So this one might have the gearbox to be installed. 341 on the ECU will be equipped. Exhaust will be added up. Suspension. So this one might have the FX stats will be added up. That will be much needed to adding up with some bonus. Skill. That should be needed. Okay, it's all good. Now, let's just go back to the map and get myself prepared. So luckily, if I could probably have enough time to do some livery design after this walkthrough part. Alright, let's just go over to Death Valley, and this time, this is going to be nearly there. How hard can it be to have a performance at 339 but I recommend at 340? Well, maybe let's find out and see. This is very good to see how drag race could be set on the freeway. But this is definitely might have a lot of required run and speed and even a burn preparation for only 3 seconds before hitting the green light. But this is going to be a huge dynamic effect to be on the rain. So let's see how it turns out. Beat the time at 18.716 seconds. This is going to be very challenging. Better burn rubber onto the green mark check. Perfect burn. Oh man, how embarrassing to do this. Let's just gonna start over. That was completely embarrassing.
3, 2,
Almost forgot to use 2 fingers on the left and right, but I had to make sure if I could probably get used to it. Let's just gonna have to start over. Okay, that's more like it. Perfect start. Keep going at it. Wow. On second thought, that could be getting a little bit common challenging. First run's clear, now to the second run. There you go. Stay on the green for a perfect burn. Come on, just gonna have to make that good clear pass on that Dodge Viper. Chevy takes the clear run for a win. Wow, on second thought, that Dodge Viper almost had me. But it was a A-okay clear run time, but this one might need to keep trying. Okay, one more run. So I hope this is going to be having one more chance to do this. Take that perfect start. There you go. Just going to have to take that nitrous boost early. I did pretty well. I guess it is, but well, this is the outcome. Nope. Looks like my performance level is definitely not good. Well, sometimes when current performance could probably might need some more work, that will might end results taking a red cross mark check. But I tried my best. maybe if I could probably have enough parts so this one might get a lot stronger and better. But this is definitely might be what it is. Just gonna have to keep trying whenever you're gonna have to do a little encore for having some defend participate that you have already been taking. Just gonna have to do a little bit more straight run for having a drag car for my Corvette. But probably, this is definitely might need to take a little speed while taking the turn. So right now, my currency bucks at 163,706. But if I could probably had to do some more events, maybe I could probably had to go back and do some more off-road events. That would be much better to see if I could probably had to take a lot of good terrain, if I could probably deal with the obstacles if I have to overcome. So, I could probably have to do a lot of more video editing before putting up into a full part segment of this walkthrough. But yeah, it is definitely might be get a little bit more changes whenever it might need effect on it. But that's how putting up some full segments by each several clips will be combined as one. Alright folks, I hope you really enjoyed watching the race. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads, and the links on the description down below if you want to see more. You can follow me on Instagram, DeepNetArt, and GT Planet whenever you want. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time to continue the journey in the Crew 2, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay clean.